I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast and with the big Scotsman himself, the Glasgow Warrior. Just had his first fight. Well, is it your first fight in Glasgow, Nick Campbell? No, you had the J McFarlane one, but your fight in Glasgow in a warehouse. So there you go. You've had one of them before.
Mate, a few, but I'm not going to talk about them on camera. No.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
No, listen, it was good. I thought the venue was brilliant. You know, boxing's so sorry, Andy, but they've done a great job with us. So fair play. I'm really, really happy to be fighting on my home show in Glasgow with great support. Another 2 boys for the gym, 3 wins out of 3. So great night for me, great night for the gym, and I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing.
Good. We'll talk to him about the fight itself. Another 6 rounds in the bag against a tough opponent. I mean, the left hook, the straight right hand, the body shots, they were sinking in. So again, I can see your shot selection with Billy Nelson is there now. But that guy who you faced there, he was tough as old boots.
Do you know what? I think he's been stopped 3 times by Fraser, that Jamie TKV, and I think David Jameson, believe it or not, stopped him. But I think as these guys progress along, they learn how to survive, they learn how to cover up, they learn how to roll with the shots. So I wasn't really trying to go out there and not blast them out. Billy just said to me, go out and work on what I've been working with you. If you get the stoppage, brilliant. If you don't, just look good doing it. So I think it was a valuable 6 rounds. He took some punishment. He get well weighed in for that because he took it late notice, and he was the only guy that would take it in Britain for the type of boys that you would be asking to come in and step in at late notice. So fair play to him for coming down. He earned his money tonight. He's also a Jersey boy, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Aye, so it was the battle of the beans. But nah, fair play to him. He's a nice bloke, and like I say, I'm glad he's driving up the road with a nice paycheck and all these marbles intact.
Down the road if you're going to Jersey, to be honest. We'll go down there. Yeah, Nick, obviously the heavyweight scene, like I said to you before, we love the heavyweights and all that sort of stuff, but you're back in the win column now. Good solid 6 rounds under your belt, your first fight with Billy Nelson. What's the next step now? When can we see you back out?
I think I'm supposed to be on a show at the end of June. That's what we're planning on. I can't say much more than that because I don't have anything confirmed yet. So that's the plan, is to be back out end of June, keeping active, keeping busy, learning. Don't judge me now, judge me in 3 or 4 type fight. Judge me in 3 or 4 fights time. That's what I want to do. Billy was happy with how I done. There's obviously loads to work on, but we're moving in the right direction, and I'm pleased.
Nick, we spoke about the Joy Zhang fight yesterday. But when you look at the sort of them guys at the top of the division right now, you talk about the possibility of Tyson Fury facing Joshua, and Tyson Fury versus Usyk, and Usyk and Wilder and Joshua, and all these guys now, Joyce and Zhang. But down round about where you're almost at, there's a lot of talk about these Solomon Dakers, the Fraser Clarks, obviously the Fabio Wardleys and the David Adelaides. They're a little bit further ahead than you, but ahead of you is a crop of some very, very good fighters that if you keep winning, you'll be in amongst them names, and it'll be an exciting fights, big fights that you might even be, fingers crossed, bring them up to Scotland. But if not, you could have a big fight for that British title, because I know that's a dream of yours. So have you, again, I know you have one fight at the time, but do you ever think about what's ahead of you in terms of these big names that I've just mentioned?
Of course. I'm a big Scottish heavyweight. I'm like hen's teeth. They don't really come around too often. So I think, of course I think about it. Do you know what I mean? I've got a great support. The people in Glasgow are amazing. I love my home city. So I'm just hoping that I can keep my momentum going, keep learning, keep progressing. The big goal's always at the back of my mind, but like you say, it's one fight at a time. It's a valuable 6 rounds tonight. I've been working on a lot of different things, and I think going forward, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive, and the goal still remains. You know what I mean? We just work towards it one fight at a time.
I do want to get your thoughts as well. I don't know if you've heard what Simon Jordan from TalkSport said about that heavyweight tournament. Did you hear it? About
I've only listened to Talk Sport on the radio, so I actually quite like Simon. He's dead outspoken, do you know what I mean? Don't know if I'd enjoy going for a pint with him, but I enjoy listening to him, I enjoy his views and stuff like that, so
Well, he basically said that he's heard word of a super tournament in Saudi Arabia in December with Usyk versus Tyson Fury and Joshua versus Wilder, and then the winners face each other. I mean, can they pull that off? I'm sceptical, but can you imagine that tournament?
money doesn't speak, it swears. And I think if the right men in Saudi want it to happen, anything's possible. These guys have got billions and they've got the type of money that would attract these boys to come and fight like that. And listen, when you talk about legacy, you can't get better than that, can you? That's the ultimate tournament. I mean, as a fight fan, I hope it's true, and I hope that these boys are going to put their hands in their pockets and pay for it, because what a spectacle that would be. Do you know what I mean? We'll still be talking about that in 20, 30 years' time. So, aye, let's get it on.
Well, as a big biased jock that I am, man, I hope you do get these big shots. Like I mentioned, the fights like these Fraser Clarks, and I hope you do get yourself in a position where you can fight for that British title, because I don't think a Scotsman has held that British heavyweight title yet. So if you're the man, that'd make my day, because you're such a gentleman and I appreciate everything. So Nick, until the next one, brother.
Always a pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all my supporters. Thanks to all my sponsors. I can't mention all, but
Get them in if you want.
get them in.
And get
There
them
they
in if
are.
you want.
They're all there. But listen, these guys have been with me right from the start, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to chase the dream. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Andy, and I thank you guys. See you soon.
You're welcome, mate. Cheers, Nick.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,